folks, welcome back to my channel. Or if you've never seen me before, then hi, welcome. So I'm very excited for this week's reading vlog because for this week I'm going to be reading my most anticipated 2025 book releases. These 3 books, I've just been counting down the days till they come out because a lot of books that are coming out this year I'm very excited to read. Like, this is a good reading year, like in the sense of like new book releases, because a lot of good books have come out this year already and others that are going to be coming out this year. I narrowed it down to only 3 because these are my top 3 books that are 2025 book releases that I'm just like insanely excited for. Like, I just cannot wait to read them. I've been waiting since they were announced. I can't explain it. I can't describe how excited I am to read these books. There's just not enough words in the English vocabulary. So I had big FOMO seeing everybody else like reading these books. You should also be proud of me because I've avoided spoilers. I'm just like very proud of myself. I've managed to be patient until I could start this reading vlog. It's finally time and I'm gonna say excited again, but is there like any other synonym? I'm thrilled. I'm delighted. No, they don't like give the same energy. Anyways, the 3rd and final book that I'm gonna be reading for this reading vlog hasn't even come out yet. It comes out in like 3 days. Like, I think that's my #1 most anticipated book release, but that's gonna be the final book for this reading vlog. But yeah, just overall, these 3 books, it's just like, you don't know how much it means to me. Also, like, this makes me happy because lately I've been in a reading slump, I feel like since January, and I feel like this is the first time in a long time I only want to read. Like, that feeling I was missing and craving, the excitement I'm getting just to like read them is enough to like already feel like the only thing I want to do is read. Like, I don't care about anything else. I do have some things to do this week, so even though I wish I could just like not do anything and just read all day, rot in bed, I have things to do. I have a life. Well, so we'll see how I deal with that, but I think it helps, again, that I'm just so excited to read these books that I'm going to prioritize reading them. I've already decided which one I'm going to read first. Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. That movie franchise literally means everything to me. I've watched the movies like more times than I can count. Like, you know, you better not mention like the Hunger Games anywhere near me, because if you do, like, just know I'm about to go on a rant and just like probably most definitely annoy you. But anyway, safe to say that I just care and have so much love for this world and the books as well. When I read them for the first time, I was like, how did I not do this sooner? It's difficult to say whether I like the books or the movies better because the movies truly did them justice and they're just truly like a masterpiece. So I just love them both. I will say I love sassy Peeta in the books. Like, Josh like definitely brought like that sassy side of Peeta, but I just wish like it could have been written more. I love Peeta in the books, but I also love the way Josh portrayed him obviously in the movies. See, I'm about to go on a rant. Well, I was about to, but I'm gonna stop here. Point is, the books, the movies mean so much to me, mean everything to me. And so when it was announced that a new Hunger Games book was gonna be coming out, let me just tell you, the whole neighborhood like heard me. I screamed, I told everyone, like I told my parents, they were like, we don't care. I've just been so excited to read this book because for years I've been saying and I've been wanting a Haymitch book, and this is Haymitch's book. Like, I never thought like she would actually write Haymitch's book. Haymitch is such an interesting character, and obviously we kind of knew about his games a little bit. Obviously we didn't know the whole story until now. And you know what they say, like, Suzanne Collins comes out with a new book every time she has something to say, because we all know her books go deeper than just like a fictional world. Like, it's very much a reflection of what's happening in real life. I'm not gonna be the same person after I finish this book. So I'm kind of scared because I've seen a lot of people film their reactions to this book. I guess that's it. I guess it's time for me to start reading this book. I have a feeling I'm gonna be updating you every 5 seconds. Hope I'm not that annoying. Am I only on the first page and already have something to say? Yes, I am, and yes, I do. Because it starts off with the fact that it's Haymitch's birthday, and I'm like, great! But then it says, which is also the same day as Reaping Day. That didn't even cross my mind. Like, I didn't even think about that. The fact that so many kids, like, their birthday could be on the same day as Reaping Day. And obviously, that is, like, the saddest thing ever. Imagine it being your birthday, and, I mean, that's supposed to be a happy day for you. You know, you should be celebrating it, and it should be this great and amazing day. But, I mean, I'm not one to talk. I cry every year on my birthday. But I guess when you're younger, it's like, have a birthday party with your friends and celebrate it with your family. And then in this world, it's like your birthday is on the same day that your name could be picked and you could be sent off to compete in these games where there's a very high probability that you will die. Now that I know this fact about Haymitch, I'm like, great, I'm on the first page and this is already destroying me. Let me continue reading this. Okay, I have a couple things to say. First off, as I told you, this is going to be Haymitch's Hunger Games. He competed in the 50th Hunger Games, and he also competed in a quarter quell, like just to make matters worse, because every 25 years that passed, they like had a quarter quell for those Hunger Games like on that year, which meant they just like added like just a special twist. So the special twist for the 50th Hunger Games was that they would send twice as many tributes. So that meant instead of 24, there would be 48 kids fighting in that arena. So anyways, apart from that, I also read something that reminded me of something that I had read in the first Hunger Games book for the 74th Hunger Games. So like when Katniss competed, she had a conversation with the Prim Reaper. We don't talk about him, before they went to the reaping, and the Prim Reaper that he had his name 42 times. Katniss said 20, and I just read something that Haymitch had his name 20 times in the reaping this year. I hadn't really thought about the reaping of it all, like the reaping process, the reaping system. So basically, right, when you turn 12, that's when you're eligible to compete in the Hunger Games until you're 18. Each year, it says that like you get one slip. You get your name put once in the reaping. But people like Katniss, the Prim Reaper, and Haymitch, they're poor. They couldn't just starve. They had to sign up for the Tesserae program, which basically gets you a ration of tinned oil and a sack of flour, but like for one person. So, for example, Haymitch, he had his younger brother and his mother. So as soon as he turned 12, his mother wasn't eligible anymore, and his younger brother wasn't 12 yet. He was the only person really that could help his family. He took 3 Tesserae, and basically in exchange you have to put your name in the reaping an extra time for each Tesserae that year. So basically he had 1 slip and then an additional 3, so like 4 slips each year since he was 12. In this book he's 16, so it's been 5 years since he was 12, so that means 4 times 5, he had his name 20 times. And I was like, whoa, I hadn't really understood it fully, I guess, that whole concept and the whole system. And for Katniss, it was kind of like the same thing, but for the Prim Reaper. So I read that he had 4 family members, so he would take 5 Tesserae, so that means he had 6 slips each year. By that time he was 18, so that means it had been 7 years since he was 12. So 6 times 7, 42. The math adds up. I don't know, it's crazy. The fact that people like Haymitch and Katniss, well, mostly from District 12, because like they were like very poor, have to take right Tesserae or have to sign up for that program in order to survive, really. Like they don't really have a choice here, and because of that, they're the ones that like are like most probable to get picked for the reaping. It's out of their control, the fact that like they've been born into this district. They live in like poorer conditions than other districts. The odds aren't exactly in their favor, and they say it's a gamble, but really isn't. If you're setting up the system this way, then you're giving them, again, a higher chance, a higher probability of getting picked. So yeah, ignore me. I just went off on a rant again. Hi guys, so it's been a few days since I last talked to you. That's why I haven't really updated you, because 1, I've been quite busy, and 2nd, I just haven't had really anything to say. I am on page 176, and I think that's pretty much halfway through this book. You know, I've been writing down some things on my notes app. Now, like, it's all been kind of piled up. I am enjoying it a lot. When I'm not reading it, I'm thinking about it, you know what I mean? And I'm itching to get back to it, so that's good. Where I'm at right now in the book, it's like the interviews right before they go into the games. Honestly, I thought at this point I'd already be reading the games. For some reason, I don't know. I'm getting there. It's making me really nervous and scared. I'm not complaining. It was a thought that I had. It's not saying that like it's been boring and it's like been slow. Not at all. A lot of things that have happened in this book already have like shocked me and like surprised me. You're like, okay, why are you saying that, right? Because they're supposed to. You haven't read this book before. You're right, you're correct. But I thought I'd be less surprised, because the Hunger Games books do mention a lot of things about Haymitch and his past. But obviously it was just like the surface. It was very brief still, and we hadn't gone the full details yet. We're getting a lot more details in this book because it's solely focused on him. Like, for example, how Haymitch got reaped, and I was very shocked to find out how he actually ended up competing in the 50th Hunger Games. So it just makes the whole thing even more tragic, and it just like proves even more how rigged and cruel the games were, and how this was just like another example of the Capitol bending the rules whenever it suited them. But yeah, I'm gonna continue reading, and I'll let you know when I have anything else to say. Hi. So right now I'm at page 228 and I just wanted to let you know I did reach the games. Like, it's the first day still. It's really intense. Like, my heart's been breaking for the past 227 pages and it's been like intense, but this is the part where it gets really, obviously, like, it's the games. The moment right now is really intense, like the scene that I'm reading, and it just ended on a cliffhanger, but this song starts playing and I'm just like, it's a great song. The Hunger Games soundtrack always eats. Every time I hear this song I think of oh my gosh, how can I forget his name? Caesar Flickerman. No! That's who it reminds me of. He's the one hosting the interviews when that song plays in the movie. Part 3, the poster. I'm not gonna be the same person after I finish this book. Oh my god. Wait. The epilogue. Oh my gosh. Wait, I didn't register, like, the timeline. I wasn't expecting this. Oh my gosh. Suzanne Collins, what are you doing to me? How am I to move on? How am I to move on from this? How will I? How will I continue this reading vlog? I have so many things to say, but if they do the epilogue exactly how it's in the book, I will be sobbing in that movie theater. I mean, I'll be sobbing all the way through, but like, I'll hysterically sob like during the epilogue. If you've read this book, you get what I'm saying. I need to like sit with my thoughts. I literally have mascara stains. Makes it more dramatic, doesn't it? Hey guys, so it's been a couple days. I'm just here to explain why I haven't really updated you guys, what's been going on, the book that I'm currently reading, because I know, well, like, for you guys, no time has really passed technically because you're just seeing the next clip, but for me, time has passed, okay? It's been days since I last talked to you, and as you can notice, the only reason why I haven't updated you guys, as you can tell by my voice, how I sound, I've been sick. And to make matters worse, I got my period. I have a sore throat, congested nose, horrible and awful migraines. So yeah, I just haven't been feeling really well. Last night was literally the worst night of my life. I literally like didn't sleep at all. Thankfully, right now I'm feeling a whole lot better than I was last night. That's why I'm here talking to you guys, because I haven't had the energy to pick up the camera and talk to you guys. To be honest, I haven't had the energy to continue reading, but I've been able to do so, you know, for you guys. It really hurts for me to talk, so I'm trying my best. I've decided to do this. I'm gonna tell you all my final thoughts on all the books at the end of this video. So I know that's probably annoying, but I just also don't have like the energy to like go on a rant about Sunrise on the Reaping right now. I was gonna read Fearless, but I decided to start Great Big Beautiful Life because I feel like I was in the mood more for a romance, even though this one is not just a romance book. I've just been so excited to read it, and I feel like it's just right to leave Fearless for the end. It's like the longest book that I'm gonna read. Also, I went ahead and picked up the physical copy of Great Big Beautiful Life on April 22nd, like the release day. I was able to buy the paperback edition. They also had the hardcover edition, but I was like, I'm a paperback girly through and through, so of course I have to buy the paperback. But Last night, like I said, I had the worst night of my life, okay? And in between all the chaos, there was a little accident. So basically, when I woke up today, I saw that something was spilling all over my desk, and it had also gotten to the book, and there was no saving it. The cover literally started to rip off, and I am not in the mind space to deal with that. I took a deep breath and I was like, it's fine, I'll just buy another copy, it'll all just be fine. That happened, so I don't have the physical copy with me anymore. I actually thankfully bought it on my Kindle before the accident happened. I had actually started reading the book. It's more because of how I'm feeling, nothing to do with the book, but I started reading the physical copy. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood to read a physical book, and especially with how I'm feeling, it was just like dawning on me that I had so much left of the book, and it was making me read slower, and it was just like unmotivating me to continue reading. Yeah, not feeling it. So I was like, I'm gonna buy it on my Kindle. For you, Emily Henry, I'm gonna spend an extra $15. It was the right thing to do because now I'm reading it, you know, just how I usually read at my usual speed. It's just been great. I've been enjoying it. Out of all the books that were gonna be coming out this year, this was the one that I was most excited for. Since she announced it, I remember reading it on her grocery list because I'm subscribed, of course, reading all about it because she gave us kind of like a hint at the fact that, you know, it's gonna be something different. Like, now that I'm actually reading it, it is very different, but in a good way. Like, it's not heavily focused on the romance, it's also a mystery, which I love because it's been so fun figuring that out, and I've been so invested. And I can't say 100% yet like whether this is gonna be a 5-star read, but I do know I'm enjoying it so much. I'm at page 211. I'm about to start chapter 20, and I'm 52% through this book, so halfway through this book, but I would say I still have a long way to go. This book is about Alice and Hayden, and they're both journalists, they're both writers. The setting for this book is Little Crescent Island, so they both arrived at Little Crescent Island because they're gonna write the biography of Margaret Ives. Her family was one of the most storied families of the 20th century, so she's like this former tabloid princess, but basically she's disappeared for such a long time. No one has really known about her. Like, she's 80 something, and she's finally willing to tell the whole story, why she's been off the grid, and then also secrets about her family and things people never really knew because, you know, the internet, well, I mean, they didn't have the internet back then. People just start rumors. You know, they just put whatever on the newspaper and people eat it up. That had been happening to Margaret and her family. There's just a lot of things that has been said about her family that just aren't true, and she wants to set it straight. And so that's why I've been very, very invested. Like, I eat up rich people drama every single time. It's really, really interesting. Ugh, I just need to know more. When they both meet Margaret, they're expecting Margaret to choose one of them for the job, but then Margaret actually goes ahead and tells them both that she's gonna basically give them a 1-month trial period where they're both gonna interview her, just have conversations with her, just do their thing, and she's gonna just at the end of the month choose one of them. They're both basically competing for the same job. So I love that when she first meets him, the first impression Hayden gives, it's like very serious, kind of grumpy. But I love that she doesn't judge him because she's like, you know, most people have a reason to act like this. And so I love that about her. He already has a reputation. He won a Pulitzer, so it's like people know him, and he wrote like this really popular book that kind of just was a big hit. As Alice is getting to know him, she's like, he is so much more than people describe him as. Of course, I'm also getting to know him, and as Alice is kind of falling in love with him, I'm falling in love with him. It's like, I already love Hayden. He reminds me a little bit of Charlie Lastra, which, if you don't know, I've ranted about that man so much on this channel already. Favorite Emily Henry man, and just favorite fictional man and book boyfriend ever. But yeah, I love that man already. Like, he's already done so many things that I'm like, oh, stop. I've just been giggling and kicking my feet. Their interactions are so funny. Basically, Alice has been the one to approach him and start the conversation. She tries to like make jokes, and he's like, he stays serious or like doesn't get the joke, and she's like, come on, I'm trying my best here. She has gotten a smile out of him. I love it because there's already so much tension and banter. Like, I missed reading Emily Henry banter. I missed her writing, but I also missed her banter most of all. It's complicated because they're competing for the same job. They don't want to cross that line, but again, the tension just keeps on building and it's getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, that's kind of it. I think the last time that I talked to you was yesterday. Anyways, it's the next day, and I was gonna finish this book tomorrow, but I literally only have 31 pages left. Right now I feel like I'm at the coughing stage. I can't stop coughing every like 2 to 3 seconds. I feel like every time I talk to you guys, I'm in my bed, but it's my favorite place to be. It's pretty late, but I'm determined to finish this book. And I'm in the middle of like a really intense scene, and a big plot twist has just been revealed, and I'm like, I truly did not see it coming. Every book, and I fear that Fearless is not going to be any different. But every book that I've read in this reading vlog has made me sob or cry or tear up, but all the same, I don't even know what to say right now. I'm speechless. Hopefully I can sleep after reading this masterpiece of a book. It is the next day. Let's move on to the next and final book, which is Fearless by Lauren Roberts. I am so excited to read this book. Words can't describe. Like, there's just not enough words to tell you like how excited I am. It's thick. It's a big one. Oh yeah, it's about almost 600 pages, but I love it. I love it because I feel like there's a lot to be resolved in this book. Like, a lot of things that happened in the second book were like things that were gonna be big things in this book. Like, she was setting it up for this book. They're all just gonna blow up in this book, and the consequences of things that happen again in the second book, it's just all gonna come crashing down in this book. I hope it has a happily ever after. It has to. I know. I trust Lauren Roberts. I'm not worried about that, but I am worried the journey to getting to that point. Like, I'm just so scared, but I'm just so excited. I've seen a lot of people have very big reactions to this book. I can't believe I'm gonna be reading about Kai and Peyton again. I've been waiting since last year when I read Reckless. Ever since I read Powerless for the first time, I just got like insanely obsessed with the both of them, with this story. I love this series so much. It means so much to me. Kai, who did this to you, Azur, that man. Ugh, I love him so much. So I can't wait. I can't wait. So I'm just gonna start reading this. Hey guys, you know why I'm laughing right now? Because a lot, and I mean a lot, has happened since the last time you saw me and since the last time I talked to you. The most obvious thing, I moved. I don't know if you could tell or not, but I moved. The moving process has just been like so chaotic. And I mean, it's not like we moved to a different country or anything. We just moved to a different town, like right where we live. It has been still like super chaotic. My room isn't even done yet. I mean, it's almost done. I still have some stuff to put up on the walls. That was one reason. And the second reason, let me tell you, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. The second reason why it's been so long since I last talked to you is because it was my brother's birthday exactly almost 2 weeks ago. We went to the beach. I hadn't gone to the beach in so long, like it had been years. I care a lot about my skin. I take good care of it. It's not like I'm exposed to the sun quite a lot, and I put on SPF every day. Anyways, we went to the beach. What I hadn't noticed until a few days later was that the UV was at 11 that day. I put on SPF, of course, on my face like I do every day, and on my body. But then I also did notice when I left my house, I realized when I got to the beach that I had left my SPF that I use like on my face at home. And then it started, like, it rained twice, and so that was also chaotic. Sand mixed with rain, mixed with humidity, and then mosquitoes. And then we stayed after it stopped raining. I just kind of like forgot to reapply on my body. It's not like I wanted to tan. I played for quite a while. I don't know if I could call it pickleball. At that point it had stopped raining, of course, and the sun, again, UV was at 11. The whole point of the story is when I got home, I was like, I looked like a tomato, and I was like, okay, cute. It hadn't happened to me in quite so long, but it has happened to me before, and I dealt with it. It hurts, but then when I woke up the next morning, my face, I couldn't even open my eyes. So swollen, like a horror story, like a nightmare. I realized, oh my gosh, I have sun poisoning. My face burned so much, it stung. It was just awful. It was my whole face. I had blisters, like yellow. It started as yellow patches around my face. Guys, let me just tell you, I was so scared. I almost went to the hospital. I was okay. As you can see, everything turned out to be okay, but it will be something that I will never forget. Guys, put on your SPF, reapply. every 1 or 2 hours. Like, trust me, you do not want to go through that. I was in pain every single day. I couldn't sleep. And then maybe like 5 days later, I would say, I then started to peel, which was good because my blisters never popped. That was also like awful. I looked like Freddy Krueger. And so now it's been 2 weeks and my face, thankfully, completely peel free, but it's still like very sensitive. That's why I'm not even wearing makeup. I'm still healing, but thankfully I've gone through the worst of it. During that, of course, I kept reading, but I didn't obviously have, like, I wasn't in the right headspace to update you guys, to talk to you guys, but we're here, I'm okay, and I'm gonna continue this reading vlog. I'm at page 260, 44% through. I just want to say that honestly, it feels so good to be back in this world. I missed Kai and Peyton. Like, you do not understand the love that I have for this series and the love that I have for those 2 characters. That's why I love reading romantasy series or just series in general, because once you continue the series, going back into that world feels so familiar and so good, and it's just like, I love it. I love that feeling so much. It was so easy to get back into this world, to start reading this book, because I already know these characters, and the way the last book ended, I jumped straight into it. I can't tell you too much about this book because I'd be spoiling it for the ones who haven't read Powerless or Reckless. The way the last book ended, it kind of set things up for this book. It left you being like, okay, how is this gonna end? And I've been like this ever since I started Fearless. Like, how is this gonna end though? Because the female main character, Peyton, she's stuck in this situation. I don't see a way out of it. Like, there has to be a happy ending, right? But I'm enjoying the journey until we get there. It is more now than ever a forbidden romance. I've just been, of course, giggling and kicking my feet now that it's, you know, it's like them sneaking around. It just makes it more exciting, I guess. Their banter is just like the greatest thing ever. Their banter is what I love most about this series. Kai is just like the sassiest male main character ever. Like, I've been highlighting so much. We have a new POV. We haven't gotten much of that POV, which I'm thankful for, because I only really want to read Kai's POV. This is dual POV, by the way. And that POV, I've kind of been in denial about it. It hasn't been explicitly said. I'm pretty sure what I'm thinking of, like my theory, is correct. And I've been in denial because I don't want it to be correct, because it would mean something bad. I want to know who gave him permission to say these things. Obviously, I'm not going to give you any context, but if you still don't want to listen to this, you can skip ahead because I have to read you this. This man said, because there has never been a moment when you did not own the only piece of me that mattered. Loving you made me matter, and I ache to be full again. Hi Azur, ladies and gentlemen. And I still find myself asking, how is this gonna end? I just want to get to the happy ending, but also I'm dreading the ending, of course, because this is the last book in the Powerless series, and I don't want to let these characters go. Mind you, I'm also 62% through. What the heck is gonna happen? I was waiting for his POV. Just 2 sentences. No. No, 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 what am I reading? Why am I crying? Well, because 3 words were just said. Hi guys, it's the next day. I'm at chapter 63, page 491. And I turned on the camera because something big has just been revealed. Well, a lot was revealed. You know how I said like I had a theory? Well, like my theory was almost correct. I was like not 100% correct, but that actually makes me happy because, you know, like I said, like if my theory was 100% correct, that would mean something bad for the main characters. But now that I wasn't 100% correct, what has actually just been revealed, the truth, I don't think everything has just been revealed. Most of it. Pretty sure there's still one thing to be revealed, one secret. Now that I wasn't 100% correct, the actual truth means actually something good for the main characters. It gives our main characters hope. That's all I'll say. Hey guys, it's the next day. Sorry if you can hear the fan in the background. It is literally like, it feels like it's 110 degrees outside. It probably is. But yeah, if I don't have the fan like directed at me, I will die of heat exhaustion. I'm at page 524. Oh my gosh. And I woke up just in time. I'll wake up by your side. I love this song so much. I'm getting kind of teary-eyed because even though for most of this book, this character, I didn't like this character, but this scene is really, really, really sad. It's this line for me, right here. It was the gentleness with which he loved, even when he grieved, that made me break. Wait. I'm in the epilogue, I'm in the epilogue, I'm in the epilogue! Wait! I feel like I need to sit with my thoughts, process them, and I can't talk now with that horn. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll come back when I've sat with my thoughts so I can talk about all the books that I read in this reading vlog. Hi guys, okay, so I'm back. I did write all of my thoughts in my notes app because I knew I would forget, just like the details. So yeah, I have a bunch of thoughts. This is Sunrise on the Reaping. This is Great Big Beautiful Life. I didn't realize they were that long. And then this is Fearless. Let's start with Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I haven't stopped thinking about it. What can I say? I mean, Suzanne Collins is an absolute genius. She writes a new book when she has something to say. And boy, does she have a lot to say in this book. Firstly, I want to talk about the fact that this is going to be adapted into a movie. And we have already gotten most of the cast. We got President Snow, which is going to be played by none other than Voldemort. The budget they have for this movie is like incredible. And I cannot wait to see the masterpiece that is going to be this movie. So let's talk about Haymitch because I love that man so much. It expanded his character so much. It gave him so much depth. Still thinking about it, like my heart aches for him and everything he went through. Imagine going through all of that and then ending up being a mentor. Seeing these kids having to be trained for these games, and then since he's a District 12 mentor, most of them end up being dead. He had to like detach and just go through life completely numb because if he grew to care for them, then they just die. So why do that, right? And then that cycle repeats and repeats and repeats every single year. Let me tell you that I will never ever again like a young President Snow edit, okay? I promise you, Suzanne Collins, I promise you. I just did it for Tom because that man is like gorgeous, but never again. Tom Blythe edit, yes. Young President Snow edit, no. Like that man is just truly, truly evil. And then in this book, we got to see the extent of like the bond between Haymitch and Katniss, why he called her sweetheart, why he grew to care for her, why he wanted to protect her. The epilogue in this killed me, ruined me, but it was also sweet and very, very beautiful and healing. Like this book had no other reason than to just break us and shatter our hearts. It has been on my mind 24/7 since I read it. Haymitch, like, again, deserved so much better, but I'm glad he found his peace with Katniss and Peeta and their little family. I just had to give this 5 stars because how could I not? Okay, let me talk about Great Big Beautiful Life now by Emily Henry. She managed to not disappoint me again. And I am so shocked to hear that so many people have mixed feelings about this book and there are so many mixed reviews because I thought this book was so beautiful, so inspiring, and just wow. What I'm hearing people say is like they didn't care for like Margaret. Like every time they got to do an interview it was like boring, and I couldn't disagree more. I loved Margaret and like her story. I'm a sucker for like rich people drama, like rich family drama, but like not only that, like I just loved when they did their interviews because I was so invested. And so maybe that's like the girl in me that loves mysteries, and so maybe for someone that doesn't care for that, I can understand why you thought like that was boring or you didn't care for like that element in like this book, but I loved it. And the way it like still connected with our main characters. But talking about our main characters, let's get to Alice and Hayden. I loved them so much because even though this wasn't a romance-centered book, like it did have many romantic moments between them, and it still had that Emily Henry banter, which is absolutely superior, and I eat up every single time. Every single moment that we got between Alice and Hayden, I loved Alice so much because she is so bubbly and perky, and she's so fun, and she's so funny as well. She's just like full of life and energy, and Hayden is completely the opposite. I don't know if I said this, I must have, but he reminded me so much of Charlie last year, which is like my favorite fictional man ever. And the fact that like Thundercloud is used as a nickname for both of them, This was giving Grumpy and Sunshine. Hayden is like very serious and surly and like kind of grumpy. We learned that that is just like a small part of like who he is really. He is actually the sweetest man ever. He is just like so soft and so kind, so thoughtful. The thing that I most loved about him, and like this is like what I want in a man, I love when like men notice like small things about you. Hayden like just noticed the smallest of details about Alice and just like quirks as well about her, and that was just like everything to me. There was like this quiet care in everything he did. Like he didn't have to like brag about it or like be like showy about it. He was gentle about it. And they had their reasons for not like being together in this book. Like they had a lot of obstacles to go through, but I loved how he didn't rush into anything. He didn't force anything. He just constantly showed up for her, again in such a gentle way that made every single small moment feel huge. And then like what I loved about their relationship is that it happened like very natural for them. Like it all happened in a very natural way, because sometimes in romance books, you know, we read because, at least I can speak for myself, like to escape from reality. So when I read romance books, even though like they're not fantasy books, like it can still feel like that, like okay, this one happened in real life. You know, I don't mind it again because I read books to escape from reality most of the time, but something about this book, the fact that it happened like very natural for them, like their relationship, the way it developed, that was very special to me. It just made my heart ache in the best possible way. I also don't know, I've seen people say that these characters didn't have any chemistry, and I'm like, could we even read the same book? I don't think we did, because it's not like the dramatic, over-the-top kind, but the quiet, soft, gentle, powerful kind, like a brush of the hand or a hug. And that got me. Like the hugs in this book meant everything to me. And moving on from them, if not, I'm just gonna keep talking about them, but I love how Emily Henry makes us fall in love with the setting in every single book she writes. In every single book, I just fall in love with the small town. That goes hand in hand with how descriptive she is, because look at this quote, I had to write it down. From the outside, we probably look picturesque and peaceful. Inside, my heart feels like it's riding along the top of a very active geyser. I love how descriptive she is. She does it in a very unique way. Something else about Emily Henry books and why they don't like feel like just a romance book, because they're just always something much more. What I love about her books is how they always center on like women's experiences, and this book centered a lot on that. Like obviously apart from Margaret, which is like, I wouldn't say the main focus of the story, but a big part of this story in this book, herself as a woman and the story that she has to tell, very important, very meaningful. But apart from her, Alice, our female character, she is going through something with her own mother, and you can see how much that affects her, like how much of her identity is shaped by that relationship. But again, I just couldn't understand how people were not interested at all in Margaret's story, because it becomes truly a tribute to women and the roles they're expected to play and the pressure to always be strong, to always be okay. And again, I found that to be so powerful and meaningful and impactful. Safe to say that I really enjoyed this book and I loved it so much. Now, I didn't give it a 5-star rating just because, apart from like a lot of other reasons which this book had, I think the thing that was left was for me to connect on a very deep and personal level with the characters. And I didn't find myself relating so much to these characters. I loved them, but I didn't relate to them. Like I related to the themes, I loved them as individuals, I loved their chemistry, and I loved their relationship, but again, I didn't deeply relate to them. So that's why I didn't exactly give it 5 stars, but that doesn't mean that I didn't love this book any less. Lauren Roberts, what have you done to me? I think I am gonna do a spoiler section, and then I'm just gonna finish it just like being very vague for those of you who obviously don't want to listen to the spoilers, and for those of you who haven't read it yet and want to, I'll put a timestamp, but if you don't want to hear any of it, I suggest you skip, and I'll see you later. Okay, but for those of you who do want to hear and you have decided to stay, let's get into it. Starting this book, like I said, it jumped straight into it, and I was glad about that. Of course, Kit like planning to marry Peyton was something that was hinted at the end of Reckless, but getting to see that expand in this book killed me. I didn't expect Peyton getting a second set of trials, but I loved that. You know why? Because there were so many things about this book that like had the elements that made me fall in love with Powerless. It reminded me a lot of why I fell in love with Powerless. I already miss them so much. Like I'm getting serious kind Peyton withdrawals. Oh, and then this was a thought that was like constant in my mind while reading this book. Ever since I read Powerless, I always compared Kai Peyton to Damon and Elena, but in this book, when they had the ball scene, like it gave me so much Delena vibes, and everything about their personality pace and their dynamic and their relationship is so similar to Damon and Elena. Like Kai, how he like wants to be better for Peyton, doesn't want to be the monster that he was raised to be because of like this lack of love from his father, and then a loving mother, but like also a mother that didn't protect him from, you know, his father. For them, for Elena, for Peyton, they want to be better, but at the same time, like they can't help but be selfish because they love them that much. But this new POV that we got in this book, Edric, which I can finally say his name because I'm in the spoiler section. Whoa. So obviously everything that was like in his POV revealed some very, very big things. Oh my gosh, I was like so shocked. Like this book had me pulling that move. It felt like there were so many, like my mind couldn't keep up. Each one was very shocking, like the fact that Edric isn't really Kai's father. At first, I was like, they're related. As the book progressed and more things started to get revealed, I was like, okay, they're not related. Because like at first I had this theory that Edric was Peyton's father, then they would be half siblings. And I was like, no. But she wouldn't do that to us. And no, Edric wasn't Peyton's father and he wasn't Kai's father either. What was surprising is that Kit's mother was Peyton's mother. So Kit and Peyton were half siblings. And it was very surprising to find out as well that they were both very powerful and rare elites, yet a powerless and an ordinary daughter was born. Oh, and I was at first happy to see that Mac made an appearance in this book, but then I was so sad. By the way, that moment that like Peyton had to fight Kai, I was like, this is not happening. And then when he died, I didn't cry because I was like, no, I know this isn't real. Somehow he'll come back to life. And I was right. But the truth was still sad somehow because the one who Peyton actually killed, he wanted for that to happen. It was Mac. But I'm glad he and Adina are now together. But that was so sad. My heart broke. Oh, and I loved still, again, the banter between Kai and Peyton in this book. It's just like such an addicting thing. Like Kai and his one-liners. I think I highlighted every single thing Kai said. Almost every single thing. I love that man so much. No one yearns like Kai Azar. Their letters to each other. I just couldn't because he still found a way to talk to her and to connect with her and to still communicate with her. Like that man couldn't stay away. What also really broke my heart is like there's such a strong sense of sadness and grief in this book because as we know, Adina died and Peyton hasn't really had time to grieve her properly, and so it is just so sad. And then in the end, Peyton is able to heal from losing Adina, and it's just like such a beautiful thing to read about her journey with grief. Let's talk about Kit because I have mixed feelings about him. Like honestly, I also saw a lot of people like cry and sob when they read like Kit's POV at the end of this book because it kind of alluded to the fact that like he was alone in this afterlife, like wherever he ended up with, he was alone. I have mixed feelings because I don't feel like sympathy towards him. Like I don't really feel anything towards him. Like I didn't really connect with him, and so I don't really care for his character. I just felt like so sad for Kai and my heart ached for him, and it broke because he had such a strong bond with his brother, and the fact that he killed him, obviously not on purpose. It was more for Kai because obviously I love that man and I have such a deep attachment to him. Now thinking more about it, he wasn't really truly evil. He was just broken and he wasn't alright. He wasn't okay at all mentally or physically, and we learned the reasons for that. The whole thing about the plague was shocking as well. His whole plan went like way back and there was so much more to it than I thought. But I don't think he did it because he was truly evil. He just wanted his brother and he just felt unloved. That desire and the need to prove himself and to be greater than his father, to not be a failure, that's what ate at him. So I can get that, but I don't really care. I don't know if the novella that is coming soon will make me feel differently. The epilogue, guys. Their daughter, the fact that she was named Kit, I've seen also people say, why wasn't she named Ava or Dina? I get why she was named Kit because it was something that they shared. They both loved Kit in a way. We don't know her power, but we know she's an elite because Kai was able to sense her. I still have a lot of questions left in the epilogue. Something alluded to the fact that Blair, because at first I thought like it was just a ghost. Hayden was imagining her. I don't know. Now thinking about it, I'm like, wait, but she might be alive. And I think they just covered it up and she's in hiding. But I don't really care if like really that never gets answered for me. But yeah, I was so happy when I found out that they had a daughter. Kai is such a girl dad. Fits him so well. Like I can see him having teacup parties. This book was almost 600 pages and I'm still so starved for more Kai and Peyton because I love them so much. Like I want to see truly, because like Kai was king after Kit's death. You know, they opened their borders and they did, but Peyton always wanted for Ilya. Ordinaries lived among elites. Yay for all of them, but I wanted to see more of the journey to that point and like more about their family and their daughter. I just want more. I'm greedy, I know. I think that is all. So the spoiler section has just ended, but basically I just loved this book so much. Kai and Peyton will always have my heart, and I don't care what anyone else says. I know the series has a lot of mixed reviews. I disagree with all of them. I love the series so much. I will definitely think about Kai and Peyton for weeks now, but like just forever. They'll be tucked into a corner in my mind and I'll think about them 24/7. Oh, the series is being adapted into a show. It's being adapted into a show. I just learned Prime Video, which I am so glad. Prime Video just keeps feeding us book girlies. Love them for it. Who will play Kai? That scares me because in my mind, no one is that handsome. I don't know. But with every show adaptation that Prime Video has done, I know that they won't disappoint us. And then I'm not worried about Peyton. There are just so many beautiful women out there that I know whoever they pick for Peyton. I'm not worried about the rest of them. I'm just like, Kai? Who will they cast as Kai? But we'll see. I'm just very excited. Like seeing Kai Azar on my screen, I cannot handle it. Anyways, I didn't have to think about the rating. I definitely gave this 5 stars because so much happened in this book. I was on the edge of my seat. I could not put it down. This whole series generally is like a 5-star series for me. So these were all the books that I read in this reading vlog. I hope this wasn't too long, but I had such a fun time filming this reading vlog because these were books that I was like so excited to read and they just mean so much to me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and let me know your thoughts if you have read any of these books. I would love to know. I'm always curious. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and I guess that's all I have to say. See you guys in the next video. Bye.